This is Real Life with Deb Waterbury, a real show for real people with real issues. And now, here's your host, Dr. Deb Waterbury.
Welcome to this episode of Real Life with Deb Waterbury. We're still right in the middle of our series on women in business, and I am very excited to have with me today Eva Whatup, and which is not really her name, but it is her brand. And I'm going to let Eva talk about why she calls herself Eva Whatup, what she has to do. But this is all about fitness, ladies, and then fitness coaching, all that kind of. Yeah. I'll let you talk about it because I'll say it all wrong. But there's so much that this woman does, and so much she has to offer, and then being a Christian as well, and knowing that walk with the Lord that so mirrors so much of what you do, I know, in terms of who we are in Christ and what we have in this body and how we're supposed to take care of it. So Eva, I'll shut up for a second. What is it that you do? And tell me about the two businesses you were just talking about and your brand and whatever.
Okay, so Eva Whatup came about when I would hop on Zoom meetings and what up everybody? Like I would just hop on, and you know that like minute or two where everybody's hopping on, nobody's got their video on.
Right.
So I would just unmute myself like, what up? And then I just like mute myself again. And so everybody just started doing that, like what up? And then when I would say it, they'd be like, Eva, what up? You know, and like literally
that's where it was born.
Yeah. Well, and on Facebook Live too, I would always start with like a what up, ladies? And I started Facebook Live like when it started, 6 years ago or something like that, when we first launched it. So anyway.
So you're a pro at Facebook.
No, that's why I use Facebook Live, because it's just like live and it's just what it is. Don't ask me to edit videos, anything like that. It's just, don't.
So Eva Whatup came from that.
Yes.
All right, now what else do you do? What is Eva Whatup?
So Eva Whatup is basically like, I call it an umbrella of like Sculpt Boot Camp, which is a women's 6-week boot camp. I give away $1,000 grand prize for the best overall transformation, not just weight and body fat, but photos. And we have this little program that you follow. I will read devotions sometimes. So it's really created for beginners in fitness, those women who feel that the thought of losing weight, well, let me take it back, because I'm sure you know a lot of women, there's women probably watching right now who are like, I'm super busy, I got kids, I have a husband, maybe I work or I have my own business, I just have so much going on, I literally have no energy, I'm tired, I can't continue going down the path I'm going on, right? I need a change. Yes. And so of course we know I can eat healthier and I probably need to exercise. So, but what happens is that thought is so overwhelming because we have so many different options or things and distractions. So what my program is, it's like I put together a program that's created for women who feel overwhelmed about even trying to make the most smallest change in their life with food, with fitness, but really what I know that they maybe don't know is that it needs to be like a mindset change, right? They are searching for something that they're filling a hole with food, with work, success, money, their relationships, their children, right? I see them and I'm like, okay, you think you need fitness and food, like good food habits, right? But like what I see is like mindset. You need somebody who's going to believe in you. That's going to say, you can do it.
That's exactly
right. Like, I will tell women, all right, we're going to do push-ups. They're like, I can't do a push-up. I'm like, lay down and push yourself back up. I promise you can do it. I don't care if you're on your knees, whatever. Lay down. Okay, I can do it, right? Yes. And the other thing that I love so much about this challenge, because it's only 6 weeks, right? So you were able to like wrap your brain around it. It's not
6 weeks doesn't seem that terrible.
Right.
You can do anything for 6 weeks.
Right. So that's why I make them 6 weeks, and it's created for beginners. But I totally lost my train of thought right now. What was I?
Well, you're just talking about encouraging them and making sure they know that they can do it.
Right. Yeah. So that with the push up, with everything, there's a process to a promise, right?
Yes.
And so often we see highlight reels and everything on social media, and we think like, okay, if I want it, if I figure out how to do it, then it's just going to happen. But it's not true.
No, it'd be nice if it were. But
right. Mm-hmm. So I really created this program just so women can get stronger, mentally, physically, spiritually,
Yes.
right? Have more confidence in their ability, not so much confidence in how they look, but more confidence in their ability to actually start something, follow through,
Yes.
and feel like, okay, I could actually do
And
this by myself.
gosh, I have a great friend, our mutual friend that has gone through this program with you already.
Oh, yeah.
She's also in it. And she has, I mean, I've seen her whole body transform.
Yeah.
But her idea, I remember her talking about this at the beginning, thinking that this is just not something she can do.
Right.
And now it's not only something she can do, it's something she is doing and something she's been very successful at doing.
Yes.
It is about and that's kind of that's biblical. If you can control your thought processes and control what it is you think, then you truly can master every aspect of your life, because that's a biblical premise.
Yeah.
And it totally makes sense that biblical premise would move into our health and our fitness as well. This is the temple. I know you hear this, you probably say it all the time. This is the temple, and we hear that. We think, a temple of God, I got to take care of it, and then it still feels overwhelming.
Right.
But it is a thought change, a process change.
Yeah.
And it is unfortunate. I mean, I say stuff like that all the time. I can't. I remember saying I can't do a push-up. I mean, I do them all the time now, but there was like, I couldn't.
Let's see it, Deb.
I'm just dropping to the 20 right now.
Prove it. No, I believe you.
But there was a time when I just thought, there's no way. Push-ups are for Marines,
Right.
But or any of that stuff. Losing weight just seems so huge because I had too much to do.
Yeah.
It is, and it's having someone that actually believes in them.
Yeah.
And for a Christian, it is nice to have someone who believes what they believe while they believe in them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
There is that sisterhood that already holds you to that. So talk to me for a minute, Eva, on how your Christian walk feeds into and then also feeds from your businesses.
So I started training because I had my second baby. She was 3 months old at the time. I had just stopped working as a dental assistant, and I was really into working out. I did CrossFit, and so I loved that, but I was breastfeeding, and I didn't know it at the time, but I had severe postpartum. I just thought, it's fine, like,
shake it off.
Yeah, shake it off. But I couldn't go work out because I was breastfeeding all the time. Her schedule was off.
Right.
So I wasn't even a trainer at the time, but I said, hey, I'm going to start doing some workouts in the park. Right. Women would ask me all the time, how do you get... So I'm like, once a week, let's start doing that. So I really started to do that because I needed it. So I created that space because I really needed it.
Yes.
And then...
As your Christian walk, how'd you get
Okay, right.
Okay, that's all right.
So I dealt with that. I had another baby, actually, and I was even deeper in my depression. And so I actually opened a women's fitness studio. I had a business partner, and God just so smacked me in the face. For the first time, I had experienced God telling me, like, you need to leave this business. Like, you keep asking me for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have no room for even one of those things in your life right now. And so that was like that was my first step in faith. Like, okay, I'm going to leave this business, which I identify myself with. Right?
Absolutely. And you didn't want to, I'm sure.
No.
And that's so scary.
Yeah.
But those steps of obedience, God honors those, sister.
2019 was when that happened. And so I stepped away from the business. I didn't do any training for almost all of 2019.
Wow.
I stayed home with my kids. I have a 12-year-old, a 5-year-old, and 3-year-old. But at the time, the babies, they were only 2, 1. I don't know. They were babies.
Oh, my.
So I stayed home with them. And I still tell my husband, that was the best year of my life. I mean, it was hard, but it was great. Yes. So I then started to see just within myself, like, man, it's not the fitness. It's not the success of my business. Like, I've had all of these things, great kids. My husband is super hot and amazing. So like I had, so I had like checked off all these boxes thinking, okay, once I get this thing, then I'll be okay. Once I get this thing, I'll be okay. So once I went back into training, I was like, man, all these women who think they just like need to lose weight to feel good about themselves, like they're just trying to check that box off, right? The next thing will be better.
Good, Eva. Because it's really perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is and the Lord will do what he needs to do, take from you what he needs to take from you, even if it's only for a season, before he totally adds to your measure and literally lays it on and lays it on. But you've got to be obedient. Yeah. And your step of obedience to the Lord, who said, no, I'm telling you, no, not right now. And it's not even going to look like that.
Right.
Because you're right, we do have these boxes. I did the same thing when I entered a ministry 20-something years ago. I had my idea what ministry was going to look like. Yeah. And it never looked that way. And I just kept beating on that door. And finally the Lord said, when are you going to stop? Right. This is not what I want you to do. So cut it out. Right. And it's really hard when you know that's what you want to do. Yeah. Like it's what you want to do. Right. And the Lord's saying no. Because he has something so much better.
Yeah. We're going to do it my way.
Yes.
God's like, not your way.
Yes.
You got the idea, but let's do it my way. And you talk about how that obedience leads to like more measure. And so 2020 comes, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, 2019, great. All these, like, feeling amazing. Coming into 2020, and I'm still on fire for God. And I feel God's like, you need to share this now with more women. You need to step back into training, right?
And then 2020.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. So March, I was going to have a boot camp that was launching.
Oh, dear goodness.
It didn't happen,
of course
right?
not,
and I'm like, wait, God, did I get you wrong? I'm sorry. Did I get you wrong? But little did I know, God just, like, he gave me a little extra time to prepare, but just 30 days. Yeah, 30 days after that, we launched boot camp in person in the middle of a pandemic. I had 45 women who signed up and showed up.
Because we're stir crazy.
We were over capacity.
We're like, forget the fact that I can't do it. I just need to get out of the house.
Right. But you know, like all of last year God has just done crazy things. And it is so, I'm telling you, if you know me in real life, it's a testament to like my success in business. There's no way it could come from me. Like I have to count on my fingers like for math. And
yes, I know.
I'm just not.
But that's because you were obedient,
right?
And submissive, and understanding that just because you're good at something doesn't mean the way you decide to do it is the way to do it. The Lord's going to utilize and use you, which is what He's done, and it's one of the reasons why my friend who introduced me to Eva. She just talks about her enthusiasm and how she's a motivator, but mostly just her enthusiasm, how excited she is. It's difficult not to be excited when you see God just like everywhere, and then you're living in the midst of His blessing. Yeah. And living in the midst of Him saying, yes, well done. Right. Well done, sister. Well done, daughter. It is a beautiful thing. And you talked about how you just at times felt like you just didn't deserve all of that. But it's not about our deserving it, is it? It's about when we are obedient, the Lord adds to our measure. And when He adds to your measure, ladies, in business, in your home, in whatever part of your life you're in, He will continue to add to your measure if you are obedient with what He's given you. Right. If you're faithful with what He's given you and you stop trying to do it your own way. I know I did that for a lot longer than you did. A lot more stubborn, apparently. So, Eva, what I want you to do right now is tell them, first off, how they can get involved in one of your boot camps or in your coaching. And then we're going to get to this amazing gift that this woman's given away that I'm so sad that I can't win this. But first, tell people how and the information will all be underneath here as well. And again, always, if you have any comments, make sure you post them underneath the video. If you listen to podcasts, make sure you email me. But underneath, you'll have all the information she's about to share. But for you audio learners, I want her to go ahead and tell you.
So on Instagram, on YouTube, Eva Whatup. Eva space Whatup. Eva Whatup. All right. Just like it sounds. And then Facebook also, Eva Whatup. I have a free fitness group, actually just for women. I'll post devotions in there. I really tie in that whole faith, food, and fitness. The three pillars, right?
Excellent.
Of my training. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can get in touch with her, obviously, through the social media. We'll show you that underneath. All right, Eva. If I could do that little drum roll thing with my tongue, which I can't, that's the thing. Here it comes. It is this gift that she's given away. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, so I am going to be launching a 12-week mental toughness program in the new year, but it's going to involve those three pillars of faith, food, and fitness, okay? So it's going to be great for beginners. It'll be 4 weeks in chunks at a time.
Very good.
I use an acronym called AIM. It's assess, identify, make a move, right?
Very good.
So you assess where you're at, figure out, man, I'm tired. whatever, assess,
Yes.
and then identify, like, what can I do about these things,
Right.
and then make a move. We invite God into all of that,
Very
right?
good.
God cares about
gives me
your
chills.
health. He cares about what you eat. He cares about your mind. He
Yes.
cares about what you say to yourself when you look in the mirror.
Amen.
He cares, like, when you're with your kids and the negative feedback you give yourself. So we invite God into every single step of the way in the process. Yeah.
She's given that entire 12 weeks. That's
Yeah, 12. So I'm going to give that 12-week package for free to
the winner of this contest.
the winner of this contest.
Good night.
Let's do it.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't care. I can't win, but I'm still going to do it. Because honestly, I love that. I don't think I've heard of, I don't know of another program that uses those 3 pillars and literally integrates that. I mean, sisters, there's no way you can't be excited about this. So the information, obviously, how to enter the contest is underneath here. You do not want to delay.
Yeah.
I know Alex, my assistant, is very particular, and there are certain things you have to do in order to be entered. And I think you have to tag a certain number of people and do whatever. I don't know. That's way out of my realm of expertise. But you'll see all the directions in another post about how to do that. Make sure you enter so that you can win this contest. Eva, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such a privilege.
I know.
I mean, honestly, I love talking to women who empower other women anyway.
Yeah.
But there's that word empower that has become very worldly. And I love it when we Christian women embrace that word empower, and actually understand that we can, and will empower one another through Christ. God bless you guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Real Life with Deb Waterbury. I hope it's been a blessing to you as much as it was to me. You know, if you want any of my books or information on articles or any of my speaking engagements, you can go to my website at debwaterbury.com. God bless you.